well played.
See, the branding is perfect. We have the well played on yours and then the Revan logo on mine.
All right.
We think about this stuff. Marketing geniuses.
We are live.
Oh!
It is Friday, May 17th. Fashionably late, just a hair after 11 a.m. We have with us today, as always, Ken Haas, already throwing cards at me, and Jenna and Frank and Jasmine from the band NIIGHTS.
Surprise guest, Jasmine. Look, she's so good.
Yeah.
She's like waiting at the door for the rest of the guys in the band to come in.
Maybe.
That's what it is.
Is that the plan? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to sunny, beautiful Toledo, Ohio. I am live with some folks from the Cleveland area. Specifically where in Cleveland?
Specifically where? And we are in Cleveland,
Cleveland.
We are west side of Cleveland, yeah.
Awesome. Ohio is for lovers and Cleveland rocks, right? These things are all
These
true.
are all true.
And
Nothing wrong with Ohio.
we have an awesome music scene all throughout Ohio. We have great friends and bands in Dayton with Hawthorne Heights, and we work with so many cool people in the Cleveland area. And of course, we met for the first time at Earthquaker Day.
Correct.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So we'll talk about our history real quick, so that
Yes.
these guys can see like why you're here. But we met at Earthquaker Day, and you came over to check out Billy's guitars. We had a little booth set up at Earthquaker Day, as we'll do this year, by the way, August 3rd.
Yes.
And
I heard you playing.
And I'm playing. Yeah, Jay Navarro and the Traders have been asked to play at Earthquaker Day this year, which is kind of cool, kind of fun.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a whole, I heard back there. That's amazing. I know. I like that. No drama. So, I'm totally sidelined.
That's all right. I'm playing Earthquaker Eve, and I will be there for your show.
Okay, so I need to come out for Earthquaker Eve then.
I suppose so.
Yeah, no, that'll be great. Where are they
Party
doing the
before the
Earthquaker
party.
Eve show?
Musica.
Okay, I've been there before. That's right in downtown Akron, right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
I believe so.
I was
Yeah.
there on the show that we're talking about. Cool.
Same
Reverend
spot.
is going to be doing a booth. We'll have a handful of guitars out there, and we'll be spending the day out there like we usually do. So we were out there in like 2018 or 2019 doing that, and right, that was in the before times, I believe.
He was the first one
Was
back.
that BC?
BC.
No, I think it
before
was the
COVID.
first one back that you guys met.
Was it?
Yeah.
When
I
did
don't know
we have?
now.
I
'Cause
think it was because it was a Z1, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
was it a
Good
Z1?
memory. Good memory.
I was there.
It's okay. It's a blur for me, too.
Yeah, that was the year that we brought the podcaster back from Earthquaker Day, right? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't think. Andy.
It was the first one back. It was
Yeah.
the first one back.
So you came in and we're checking out Billy's guitar, and then we started to have a conversation, and then it turns out that we both know him in some sort of I don't even know. How do you know Corgan? Ish.
I wish it was a cooler story, but the short answer is Instagram friends.
No, so you laugh about that, but I mean, we've been working with Corgan for a long time. My wife and I take the train to the NAMM show every year.
Okay.
And this year we were on the train to NAMM, and then the train goes from Chicago to LA, the Southwest Chief, right? And so we're on the train, and some woman asks us, "What you end up like seating with people having breakfast and lunch or whatever?" And we're sitting with the lady, and she's from Chicago, and she asks us what we do, and we tell her, and she goes, "Oh, you're the people that work with Billy." And we're like, yeah, do you know him? Yeah, I know him, blah, blah. We started talking about it, and then she said the same thing. We are friends with Billy from Instagram.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then I was talking to Billy about something a couple weeks later, and I'm like, oh, I met this woman on the train that knows you. He knew everything about her. Like that, like it's a real legitimate thing. He is so interested in what is going on in the music world and really does pay attention to things.
He pays attention to his fans too.
Yeah, totally.
And we had started chatting, and in the pandemic he was doing a lot of live streams and doing Q&As and bringing his fans into his live streams to kind of help us all just survive a really weird year together.
Sure.
And it was cool and it was helpful, and he was talking about the band and stuff, but he was also doing these live stream sessions about trauma.
Okay.
Really personal stuff from his own experiences, and really helpful stuff for other people that were trying to just navigate a tough time. And it was cool, and that's when we started talking.
Nice.
And I think he does continue to like keep up with fans on Instagram and stuff. And then he had done I think he was doing like a casting call audition thing for vocalists, which is funny. I've noticed now that he does that kind of often. He pulls from his fan base to kind of like, hey, submit some artwork or submit some vocals and stuff. And so I sent some videos for a song storybook project or something that he was talking about, and he ended up checking out some of my guitar work, and that's kind of how we started talking. She's bored.
Bored.
Yeah, you were
Heard
right.
this story
She's-
before.
Maybe
Forget it.
maybe if Frank starts talking, she'll come back, right?
Yeah, maybe, I guess
We
so.
understand that Jasmine is Daddy's girl.
Yes, I
And-
guess so. You
yeah.
want to come back up here? No? All right. Well, you're in.
So
Special
then
guest.
after that initial conversation, and we talked about Corgan, you played some of his guitars, and one thing led to another, and then the three of us have just kept in touch.
met at the show.
I've been to Cleveland to see the Pumpkins, and then we were all sitting in the Pumpkins fan section or whatever the VIP thing. Oh, hey, I know you guys, and then I started listening to your band, and then you came to see me and Greg Kockenheimer-Schmidt do a clinic at Guitar Riot,
Yes.
and you got a Reverend Six Gun HPP.
Yes.
You know
And
everything too, Ken.
Yeah, I know. I pay attention.
Yeah.
And you played it in some videos, and then I never saw any pictures of you playing it live, so I reached out and asked you why, and it was heavy for you, right? And I kind of knew that it was.
It was really heavy on my shoulder, but also we do a lot of different tunings. We play in a lot of drop D, a lot of drop B. So with the whammy, I like having a second guitar that I can have the trem on.
Yeah.
Because we like to do some other shoegazy stuff, and I have flutter fingers, so it's really natural to have a guitar throat. It feels right. I'm like, oh, this is where my little flutter. I'm working on correcting them, but this is where they can go, and so.
No, that's your thing.
Yeah.
Don't
So
correct.
I like having it as a second guitar.
So then we started talking about getting you a hardtail.
Yeah, to be my main guitar.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah, and the pink Z1 was what ended up happening.
Duh.
And the pink was Billy's choice. So
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Didn't know that.
When we launched the Z1 model, it was black and silver, and we rolled with that for a while. And I asked him about doing a third color, and he had seen our Rick Vito model in orchid pink, and he was like, "Can we do that pink, or is that just for those?" No, absolutely, do whatever you want, man. And so
Thanks,
yeah,
Billy.
and then it's been insanely popular. It actually, the pink looks so cool with like the aluminum pick guards and all of that that's going on that guitar. It's just a really, really sharp looking guitar. Before we go any further, if anybody has any questions for me or for Jenna or for Frank, because Frank's going to do some talking. He's going to tell us his life story here in about a second.
Guess so.
Go ahead and leave them in the comments, because Jeff and John are over there, and they will make a note of your questions, and we will get to them here in a few minutes. And if you haven't done it already, like and follow us everywhere, right, Jeff?
Exactly.
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Come on, folks. Shove. That's my disclaimer. I have to do that. I actually signed a legal piece of paper that I say those things.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Show us the love.
Yeah, show us the love specifically is on there. Yeah.
Show us the love.
That was a lawyer thing.
TM.
So all of this friendship and relationship building that we've done over a few years has led to you bringing the NIIGHTS band into our studio this afternoon to perform, and we're all thrilled. Just so
We're very
you know,
excited too.
we're thrilled. So tell us about the NIIGHTS band. specifically, we're going to start with like the really basic question for the both of you. This is to both of you, Frank. I hope you're paying attention
I
over
am.
there. Okay.
I'm thinking
What-
about my answer.
What was your first? I haven't answered the question yet.
Okay.
What was your first guitar, and when did you start playing?
Oh, well, Ken, you'll like this one. It was an Ibanez. We were just talking about Ibanez's. An RG.
Ibanez.
Yeah. And it was like a periwinkle, too.
Nice.
And somebody gave it to me, and a Zoom pedal, you know, the Zoom plastic multi-effects piece
Yeah,
of
yeah,
garbage.
yeah.
After
Sure,
I asked
sure.
for the orange Boss pedal, that's what I got instead.
Oh.
Because the Guitar Center guy told my dad, hey, this one's better, it has more effects. And he wasn't right, but I loved the guitar, and that was my first guitar.
Awesome. And how old were you when you started playing?
I actually started playing bass first because nobody else wanted to play bass, you know.
That it is the fast track to getting in a band.
Yeah,
Playing
so-
band. Like if you just want to be in a band, bass is the fast
I
track.
did the same thing.
Nice.
Two years on bass, and then I picked it up pretty late, 20. I didn't pick up a guitar till I was 20.
Oh, wow.
So-
Good shit. Jenna?
My
Same
first
question.
guitar?
Yeah.
My very first electric guitar was a Strat, which somebody gave me. And then the first one that I bought for myself was a Tele, which I bought it. It was chipped up, so I got it for
Nice.
$400.
Yeah.
And we actually still use it because it sounds really good for recording. But it hasn't
Really
been.
clear and bright. And
Yeah,
Sometimes
super
you
bright.
want that tone, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
But I haven't used it live in a long time. I had switched to the SG, and part of why I liked it is because it is such a light body, and I can
Yeah.
bend it on my hip, like, and get a certain sound out of it. And it's not a super expensive guitar. Sometimes I like a cheap guitar because I feel less nervous about it. I'm like, oh, I almost feel it's so delicate with the expensive ones when I play some of them that I don't want to.
Yeah.
It's like holding a baby. I feel like I'm gonna drop it. Just I'm wired for cheap things, I guess. But the Z one is definitely my nicest, most fancy guitar I've owned. So
Awesome.
thank you. Yeah, moving up in the world.
The little boss is getting ready to join you, it looks like.
I don't know what she wants right now.
Heading up? No?
No.
Not so much?
Bubba,
All right.
you
Well,
come
we're
here?
just going to do this stare thing, I guess, for a minute. So, tell us about NIIGHTS. So, what was your first band? Like, when did you first start playing in a band, Jenna?
Oh, this is going back so far.
Good.
You told the girl band, right?
Technically, I had very briefly joined a girl band right before I moved out of Las Vegas as on bass,
Okay.
and it was a weird.
Did you grow up in Vegas?
Mostly, yeah. My formative
Interesting.
years were split between Vegas and some Cleveland and some Colorado and California. My folks were both military, so we moved a lot.
Okay.
But Vegas was, we landed there for a while. My father was working in the desert.
Cool.
Yeah, it
wanna
was,
hear all about it.
it was
No, I'm
cool.
just kidding.
Vegas is it was wild in the 90s at least. It was a very different place than it is now. I have been back recently and it's changed a lot.
It's
It's a lot
unrecognizable.
cleaner. Yeah, it's a lot cleaner.
Yeah. I have a very, very good friend there who moved out there 30 years ago now, which has been insane to me. And I've visited him regularly since, and not like every year, but like every 8 years. And every time I go, I'm like, it's completely different again.
How long do you stay?
Not
How long
very
do you
long.
last in Vegas?
Not very
It's
long.
good for 2 days maybe.
Yeah. We usually just stop traveling through, and that's
Yeah.
stay a day or two with him.
Yeah, stay off
Although
the
my
strip.
wife and I, the lovely Miss Penny and I, renewed our vows with Elvis many years ago.
That's fun.
It was awesome.
That's
It
fun.
was a good time.
You used to see Elvis's busking on the corners and stuff. You just, yeah, I didn't see that last time I went. There was a shortage of Elvises. It's a little bummed.
We got sidetracked again. See how easy that happens?
Yeah, it does happen.
I know.
That's my brain.
No, I do it too.
Oh, this is going to be fun then. We're going to be.
Oh, it's already
unmodest by it. Yeah.
fun. I think it's already fun. Okay, so you came to Cleveland and you joined a girl band. What's a girl band?
That was a Vegas band.
Oh, okay.
And they actually, I don't know these people anymore, so I'll just go ahead and say they kicked me out of the band because the lead singer didn't like that I wrote songs. She was very threatened by that and told her management company she did not want me in the band. and I did not get that part. But I was learning bass for that band. It was put together by these people had worked with the Spice Girls, and they were trying to put together like a goth 3-piece, and they wanted a blonde, a brunette, and a redhead. And so I was the blonde.
Oh, it's all about the music.
It was all about the music. Well, to be fair, I was 19.
Yeah, totally. Oh no, I get it. It's just, that's.
But I was excited that someone was letting me join on a bass because I could play about 4 notes.
Okay.
The drummer's brother was teaching me bass. I got the part before I played bass, if that tells you how much it was about the music. So it was short-lived, and it sounds like I dodged a bullet the more I retell this story out loud. But then I came here and started doing the singer-songwriter coffee shop girl thing, and I had another band that did a lot of touring, but you can't find the music online, so it's not really worth talking about.
Okay.
Before I met this guy, and NIIGHTS has been together since 2010.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you used to go
Long
around
time.
with one of them acoustic guitars.
Well, I was doing the coffee shop girl thing on electric
Good for
guitar.
you. Oh, fist bump. Yeah, that's where it's at.
Yeah, it was,
I like that.
and I still do it sometimes.
I often tell people that we have electricity now, and so the purpose of acoustic guitars has been left behind generations ago.
Yeah, if you're gonna plug it in, might as well be electric, right?
Yes, Frank. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Sorry,
It's a difference.
I got lost again.
It's a different instrument altogether.
2010, that's a run. Wow.
And we've had a lot of change-ups though.
Yeah,
in the-
but you guys have been the constant.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So did you just start writing music together?
Oh, we're doing the poop stretch. Come on.
Well, Frank is going to have to step outside. He's
Sorry,
gonna
guys.
Take his lab.
We will.
You
I'll
can
put
just
it right
turn-
up
you
there.
can turn that off, or you can record whatever happens out
Okay.
there. Wow.
We're doing the poop stretch.
Hey, you never know. It's live TV. Sometimes the dog has to poop. You know. And the good news is that Frank and Jenna know the poo stretch. The poo. Yeah, she has it tell. The poo stretch happened, and they were out of here immediately. I love that. Well.
It was just yoga.
That was amazing.
Yeah. So
Okay,
special.
so Frank's gone. So now I'm going to ask the hard question. Okay,
Yeah,
are you ready?
yeah, we can divulge all the secrets now. He's gone.
Oh no,
go.
there's no secrets. But I'm going to put you on the spot for just a second.
Okay.
Okay. Without thinking about it and without stammering, I want to know what your top 5 favorite records are. Go.
My top 5 favorite records.
That's what I said.
Oh, that's rough. I'm
See,
gonna
you're thinking
start
about
with Love List for My Bloody Valentine is definitely in there.
Banger.
I'm gonna say Marie Sue Faces in the Rocks because I've given that one a lot of mileage. Which,
I don't know that one. I will visit that after. I will watch the tape and visit that later.
So sideways. This is really hard.
I know. That's why I did it.
I'm gonna go with Smashing Pumpkins' Adore. Might be my favorite Pumpkins record.
Wow.
Unpopular opinion. Man, top favorite records because for it to be a favorite record, I have to like it front to back. I really
standing
love
now.
Grimes' Visions because I don't have a quick answer for this.
I know.
People always
That's
ask
why
me.
it's fun.
Yeah, people always ask me my influences, and I can rattle off influences, but favorite records is I don't have answers for this. What else is my favorite record? Maybe Sigur Ros's Talk.
Wow. You did it.
Just-
Oh, you got some.
I don't know. These. I would give you a different answer tomorrow probably, but right now these are the ones that come to mind.
That is.
I'm
yeah.
thinking of my vinyl collection. Sigur Rós was a band that before I discovered shoegaze, they were the first sort of ambient, washy music that kind of introduced me to music not having to be a certain kind of structure, if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So they were sort of my gateway into shoegaze, which I love, but
And is that how you would describe NIIGHTS if pressed? Because I notice you say In your press and on your social media and stuff, you say dream pop and shoegaze and all these different, and you use different things. I mean, is that the one you would settle with?
Definitely not. I don't think we have a quintessential classic shoegaze sound.
Okay.
I would say alternative rock if I had to go with one
Fair
genre. But you know, that's it's like saying to me it's indie. What does that really mean anymore? You know, it's
Yeah.
indie. It used to mean independent, and now it's
Now we're all independent.
well, now we are independent after 5 years with a label.
Okay.
But I'd say alt rock, but definitely shoegaze influences, dream pop influences,
Okay.
some metal influences. You'll hear some of that.
Yeah, I
If you
heard
stick
that. I
around.
heard we're getting new material here today, which is
Yes.
pretty rad.
Yeah, we're debuting with Reverend.
That's incredible.
Yes.
Tell me, what is the proudest moment or performance of your career so far? What is like the one thing you look back on and you're like, I'm so glad that happened?
Playing Japan, touring Japan.
Touring Japan?
Yeah, touring Japan was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I would give the exact same answer.
Uh,
I was fortunate enough to go to Japan with Jay Navarro and the Traders in like 2017 or something, and it was mind-boggling how nice everybody was, how nice
Yeah.
the clubs are, how you're treated there by the people that run the venues, how the fans treat
And
you
how
there.
much the people that run the venues care about the sound, and they mark everything. Sometimes you get buzzing in a microphone and they come over and they figure out the grounding and it's just
Yeah.
taken care of immediately.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what they're doing. They give you a piece of paper to fill out with your set list, and I mean, even when you're a teeny tiny band, like notes, so that the person running
Yeah.
sound has notes per song. Even when you're just such a small band,
Yeah.
they give you so much care and respect for your sound to make sure things are smoothly.
Well, we're talking
run
about
smoothly.
Japan.
Yeah,
now.
Yeah,
it's-
yeah.
I could
that
just
was-
tell.
that
Context
was
clues.
100% my experience over there as well. We played really small rooms and we were treated like legends every night, and it was mind-blowing. It was really fun. It
Yeah,
was a lot of fun.
it's respect for the artist, and it's respect for music and sound design,
Yeah.
and sound engineering.
So what took you guys over to Japan? What was the impetus of that?
That when we put out our first record, Whisper, on Bandcamp in 2013.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
It started selling on Bandcamp overseas and to Japan, weirdly. because
Japan
it
doesn't
wasn't-
really have a streaming culture yet.
There,
So like they didn't have like Spotify or anything like that.
and CDs were still really popular, and there was guitar rock was still really popular. There's a scene for shoegaze over there when it really wasn't popular here. And the first record, I guess, was a little more of the dream pop stuff, and so we were selling CDs to Japan, and it was really exciting and wild. And somebody that bought the CD had an indie label in Japan and reached out and wanted to do a little indie deal where they would put our CD out in Japan. Of course, we wanted to do that. We had a Japanese label before we even ever had a US label. And I started talking to him, and he was a one-man label, and he had never taken a foreign artist on tour. It's like, well, why don't we make that happen? I'll pay for my own plane ticket if you can
Yeah.
get me over there, because I wanted to see Japan anyway. Of course, I'm going to want to play there, and he was up for it. So we made it happen.
That's cool.
It was cool, yeah.
Did you get to see stuff while you were over there,
Well,
other than the inside of clubs?
it's been 4 tours there now,
Oh my gosh.
and each time has the last time we had a little more time to actually explore, because I will say the touring it's pretty grueling, and they
Yeah.
work you a little harder.
Yeah, yeah.
There's not a lot of downtime,
Right?
and I don't know, my experience is Japanese people don't sleep as much as we do.
Fair. Fair. Did you do like radio stuff too?
There was
A little bit.
There wasn't radio stuff, but there was a lot of stopping at record stores to shake hands and do some in stores and sign things, and so they definitely booked pretty much every hour of our day. So we saw a whole lot, but it wasn't the touristy stuff. Like, I haven't seen the deer park where you just
Oh,
hang out
yeah.
with you know,
Oh yeah, I was there.
you got to see the deer.
Yeah, our bass player got bit by a deer in an unforgiving place.
I want to get bit by a deer.
Yeah.
Not there. Maybe somewhere else.
It was it was fantastic. Did you sleep in a box on the wall? You did that a few times.
The capsule hotels.
Yeah.
No, didn't have to do that.
I
Yeah.
slept in the trunk of a car. That's not an exaggeration.
Wow.
Curled up and
Okay.
Jenna has
I
a
really
tendency to
needed
sleep
nap.
a
I
lot.
really needed-
Sleep a lot on tour.
The
There's
jet lag doesn't. The jet lag is pretty. It's a
It's intense.
16-hour flight. Yeah.
It's intense. Yeah.
And there's one day that I felt pretty.
Sorry, Bubba.
What did we do?
This is live TV.
What did we do here?
I'm gonna probably get off mic and see what's wrong with her. This is kind of why we brought her along.
Yeah.
Hey, folks, thanks for having me. I got an emergency. Thank you.
I think she wants to play now.
I think that's it. Yeah.
having gastrointestinal. Sorry. We've all been there.
Amazing. Okay. Yeah. Well, we just boo. I love it. I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you a couple more questions, and then we'll see if anybody has any questions for you. But I have a couple more for you, and I hope I don't stop on anybody out there. But one of my standard interview questions is, what do you do outside of this? Do you have any like unusual skills, hobbies, or pastimes that don't have anything to do with making or recording music?
I love.
you like to
I
enjoy?
love that you didn't say, "Do you have a job?" You said, "What do you do?"
No, I
outside
already
of
know what
this?"
your job is.
Yeah.
No, I'm not
I
talking about
love
a
the way
job.
you asked
I've
that question.
no,
Yeah.
I've had the greatest answers to this question. My favorite is the one I bring up all the time. Is Kurt Kirkwood from the Meat Puppets said, "I really like mowing my lawn and I'm great at beer," and that is an excellent answer, right?
Yeah.
So no, this is more about like, do you crochet? Do you paint? What do you do that you love other than making music?
I just really love that question. 'Cause most adults just say like, "What do you do for a living?" And I just wanted to have a strong appreciation moment for that question. Anyway, I do paint. I love painting. I like drawing on my iPad. And for fun, I like to garden. I took up gardening in 2020 and started putting things in the dirt. And I really fell in love with it. I kind of have a green thumb now, but I used to joke that I had a black thumb because I couldn't even keep my houseplants alive.
Yeah, that's what I say. That's
And-
what I say to my mother, who's probably watching.
It was so sad, and I just felt so ill-equipped to like keep
Yeah.
anything alive. And now I have an animal, and I have plants that are thriving. So the gardening has been good for my mental health, and I think it's a little bit of sunshine too.
Awesome.
Yeah, can you see my tan? It's really starting to
Those
pay
two
off.
answers do go a long way to explaining your Instagram page.
Really?
Yeah, because I follow you on Instagram and I see the plants. You actually take some. You must know a lot of photographers because you guys do great. You do like really interesting artist shots and pictures. You always have cool content. So follow her on Instagram as well as me. Do you want him to follow Kid Tiger or Knights Band or both? Yeah, Kid Tiger, Knights Band, do it.
Show us the love.
Show us the love. Hashtag show us the love.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, show us the love.
And do you have, and this is not a female question. This is a general artist question. But I find that women often answer this question differently. Do you have any advice for up and coming players? Do you have, like, here's my example. I had Lady Hatchet here from the Scotch Bonnets and the Ruger Review and stuff, and she teaches guitar lessons, and she went off on this whole thing about how much she loves Taylor Swift because she taught all young men guitar lessons until Taylor Swift comes along, and now the majority of her lessons are given to young women who have been so inspired by Taylor to play guitar and sing that they want to learn how to do it properly. And I was completely blown away by that because that's amazing. You know, it's amazing that she has had like a positive influence on women in our business. And I know that women in our business historically are treated a lot different than men are. And so it almost looks like you have some experience with that, and you don't have to share it with us. I mean, that's fine. I understand. So, given all of that, do you have any advice for up and coming players or up and coming young women that want to play guitar?
If women want to play guitar, I think they should play guitar and dive into it and have fun with it, and not listen to other people's opinions about how you're playing. I took a few lessons after I had taught myself, and then I got a little bit further along, and my guitar teacher ended up being more of a therapist even than a guitar teacher for me, and I didn't realize how helpful that was until later on in life, of course. But I think if you love music and you pick a thanks, I needed that. I needed that right around the time the dog started acting up. Just kidding.
Not a thing.
The music business is really hard for everybody, and I think the entertainment industry in general is, but I do think it's harder for women, and we're working on that. A lot of people are more likely to speak up about things now, which is good. And I think everyone's on a little bit better behavior, even though sometimes it's a reaction to it's coming from a fear of cancel culture maybe more than an actual respect, because you don't see sometimes the same treatment behind closed doors, right?
Sure.
But I think you have to have tough skin, really, and just be prepared for it. I've had some really nasty comments, and if you're getting haters, then you're probably doing something right. So
I like that.
Yeah. You can't define yourself by other people's opinions of you. And people have told me that my songs are too simple or boring. I've been criticized for some of my playing or my pedals, and oh, well, you should be using that like this. It's like, you can use it however you want. Like, we call it playing guitar because you're supposed to be playing with it. I'm having fun. I don't think there's a right way to do things. I think when you allow yourself to play and remember that that's why we picked it up in the first place, that's when you come up with the really innovative and experimental stuff that, might open your door to some really magical kind of music.
Oh, we're going to edit that right out of this interview and post it as a separate thing. That was a fantastic answer, and also a very inspiring answer.
Oh,
we are
thanks.
supposed to be playing.
Yeah.
It's very, very cool. Okay, I have no more questions. She just won. If this is a competition, she just won.
It's not a competition, though.
It's not.
That's
I know.
another thing in the industry
Okay.
that I don't like, is I think
Yeah.
there's space for all of us to have a voice. I don't think it's a competition, but maybe my career would be further along if I was more competitive. I don't know. But that's the thing that women do, and women get real competitive sometimes in music, and I think it's because we're pinned against each other in that way.
Yeah, I just had an interesting conversation with somebody, and I'm half brain dead, so I can't remember who it was. Yeah, right. Here comes the coffee. Maybe Penny will chime in and remind me who I'm talking about, because I was interviewing one of our female artists, and the conversation came up that when they signed a record deal, that this was back in the day, that the record label really only had space for one female artist, right? And
They had to
it was
fill
between
their
people,
one quota,
and
yeah.
right? You know what I mean? And that's the kind of stuff that hopefully that we're putting behind us. But then, partially in reaction to all of that, we largely put the record labels behind us, right? I mean, the landscape has changed quite a bit,
Yeah.
and there's not just 4 or 5 companies that control everybody's major output, and there's a lot of really, really cool small labels coming up, like Bad Time Records. Got to plug.
As you
Sorry,
should.
got to plug. Yeah, because they believe in me or something. Not as much as I believe in them. Anybody, any questions for Jenna before we let her go and we start setting up in here for NIIGHTS to perform on this very stage?
Yeah, so Scott wants to know, he says, Jenna, have you tried the Drop Z yet? Love watching your Instagram videos and the Pink Z1, and I love your band.
Well, thank you.
Awesome.
I have not tried the Drop C yet.
We'll make that happen today.
Yeah, we will make that happen today. And I love playing in Drop D. If I had to pick a key, I think my key would be D, because I like to noodle and drop D, so I think I'll have to play it today.
Yeah. So the Drop Z is actually in D standard.
Oh,
So if you, that was the
bad.
whole point of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but when you drop that, you end up with a C, which is also kind of cool. And that's what Billy does, and that's why he wanted that guitar. So yeah. And we make that weird G-tuned guitar for him too, which we still sell. So
okay.
He's an interesting multiple tuner guy. What else you got, Jeff?
Well, this one was more for Frank, but Eric is asking the tough questions, and he wants to know where the hair ends and the beard begins.
Jenna may know the answer.
Jenna may know the answer to that, yeah. So I figured I'd throw it out
cannot
there.
answer that question. I am not going to answer that question.
Okay, fair enough. That's a good question. I like that. Yeah.
We have a lot of good comments in here about your responses to some of the questions here and about your accomplishments and everything. And Johnny would like you to carve that in stone. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. That was awesome. That was very,
But-
very.
Also,
inspiring.
Penny did chime in and said it was a story of maybe garbage and no doubt.
It was the Garbage No Doubt story. It wasn't an interview that I made. It was the Garbage. I just read that on, was it Shirley's? It must have been Shirley. I'm a huge Garbage fan. And just, everything about it, from her voice to Butch's playing and the killer rhythm section, everything about that band is great. I always love that. And so I've been following Shirley for years, and she talked about that with No Doubt playing Coachella this year. It came up that they were friends.
Wow.
They were friends, but they were competing for they had records come out of the Bleed Like Me came out at the same time that a No Doubt record came out around that same era.
Yeah.
And the record label got 100% behind Bleed Like Me and had 100% behind No Doubt and had no bandwidth for the Garbage record. And it ended up causing problems within Garbage, which is crazy. And it's crazy to me, even having lived through that whole era of music, that some putz sat around an office somewhere and went, we're not going to get behind the Garbage record. Because, why wouldn't you get behind both? And
Right,
that
right.
record, that Bleed Like Me record, did not do well in pop culture in general. It did well with their fans. Are you familiar with that record? It is a great record.
But I'm going to listen to it now.
It is really, really good. And it's really guitar heavy and stuff, which obviously I like because it's what I do for a living and all that. But yeah, that's right. So you see, that's how my mind works. I had spun that into some sort of personal thing, and it wasn't a personal thing at all. Thank you, Penny.
It is about you, Ken.
Yeah, right. I made
Way
it
to
about
make it
me.
about you.
Yeah, I make
You're
everything
Ken
about me.
Nuff.
That's my specialty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're Kenuff.
I'm Knuff.
Yeah.
Exactly. I am Knuff. What else we got?
That's all we got right now.
You can talk as much as you'd like.
Yeah, I can. I can talk as much as I want.
So dumb.
So I took my kids to see that movie and bought the sweatshirt.
Did
I
you?
actually have the sweatshirt. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
no,
really
it's-
good.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a funny movie.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. My kids make fun of me about that shit all the time, but I grew up with that. Oh, hey, Ken, where's Barbie?
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh my God, my
Yeah.
whole life. Yeah. The guy eventually it got replaced with, who did you play basketball for? And there was never a Barbie and there was never a basketball. There.
Wow, sad.
Man, we're really opening up here today, aren't we? Aren't we?
Tears are flowing.
Isn't that
Water's-
great?
Yeah. Chopping onions. Yeah,
Jeff,
that's all we
are
got
we
right
done?
now. That's all we got right now.
We're out. All right. Listen, everyone. We're gonna let you go because we're gonna start setting up for the NIIGHTS performance, which means in a month or two we're gonna be rolling out some video of Jenna and Frank's band, and it's awesome. And I'm super excited to have them here. You can come see us both hanging out at Earthquaker Day,
Yes.
August 3rd in
and
Akron,
3rd,
Ohio. Well, I'll be at the show. I'm going to come out a day early so I can go to your show the night before. That's going to be awesome. And then I will not be here next week. I'm very proud, Papa. My daughter is graduating from FIT next week, and I'm going to go to her college graduation. I'm really excited about that. And but I will be back here 2 weeks from today with the mighty Neil Patterson from the band Sump, and Lord only knows what's going to happen. Maybe we should play and put Neil on the spot. Have you guys give requests and let him make up songs. Or do you know Neil? You remember the band Downtown Brown? Do you know who I'm talking about? He's a wild man. It's going to be a good time.
I'll have to tune in.
That'll be 2
Sounds
weeks
like I
from
have to
today,
tune
right here,
in.
same time, same place. Thanks everybody for watching. We appreciate you. Live from Circle R Ranch. It's Ken and Jenna from NIIGHTS. Thanks.